Hi there and welcome to Bakemas episode 7. Today we are making homemade cornbread mixes in jars. Today you're going to need 2 wide mouth quart-size jars, cleaned and dried. I'm going to set those aside. It would also be helpful to have a wide mouth funnel. You can always take a piece of foil, wrap it into a cone shape and use that, or cut the bottom out of a plastic or paper disposable cup. But to start, take 2 1/4 cups of yellow cornmeal, add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of powdered milk, but there were a couple comments on this recipe that said they swapped that out and used powdered buttermilk, so that's what I'm going to be using. 1/3 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. Go ahead and whisk that all together. Once you have it all whisked together, get out one of your jars. I'm gonna get out both of my jars and I'm gonna try and evenly distribute this between the 2 of them. So I borrowed this recipe from food.com. Paula G, her name is Paula G. She submitted this recipe. You could absolutely make this for yourself and just keep it in your pantry. I'm going to look at the measurements on my jar because when you go to actually make a batch of cornbread using this mix, you take 2 1/2 cups of the mix. So I'm going to fill each jar up to 2 1/2 cups, and I might have a touch left over. Because the worst thing would be you give this to your gift recipient and you don't even have 2 1/2 cups of the mix. Then all your ingredient proportions are off and it's just a mess. Okay, 2 1/2 cups in that jar. And 2 1/2 cups in that jar. I don't want to waste it, this little bit that's left. And the ingredients are going to settle a little bit because that's the nature of powders. So I'm just going to evenly distribute it between your 2 jars. And it's such a small amount that it should be pretty inconsequential. And your gift recipient's cornbread mix should turn out just fine. There we go. Evenly distributed. Pop your lids back on. And then I do not have printable labels for these because this was not a gift in a jar recipe. This was just a cornbread mix recipe that I'm put in jars and will be gifting. So I'll leave the instructions and the ingredients for these jars down below for you guys. And then I will type out the instructions for your gift recipient so they know how to make the cornbread. And I would recommend just copying and pasting that into a Word document and formatting it smaller. And you can make it fancy if you want, and printing it out and taping it onto your jar so that it's there when your gift recipient is ready to use these. I would keep these in a cool, dry place until you're ready to gift them, and then I would let your gift recipient know that this should be used within the first couple of months. Paula's instructions were to use this within the first 10 to 12 weeks of making it, but I think it would last longer if you keep it either in the fridge or in a cool basement. So again, so simple. I'll leave everything linked down below. Be sure to measure out how much you put in each jar so that your gift recipient has enough mix, but not too much mix that they don't really know what to do with. I will link below my jars and my funnel as well if that's something that you will need. If you would make one of these cornbread mixes for someone, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe because there are still more Bakemas episodes to come. And if you missed the last Bakemas episode, go ahead and click here and I'll see you guys there.